All right, so I was watching a video, right, on that woman's page. Somebody come listen to this, right? And earlier I put up a video from TikTok, which was Real Politics by Tabitha, and she was showing people how these committees that want to come in under Trump's perceived or wannabe second presidential stand, or I should say reign, right? Because he wants to be a dictator, and how committees are actually going through congressional hearings because of all of the nonsense and all of the changes to law and the taking away of actual rights and changing the bodies of the government that exist for literally only white people to have any type of privilege in America. Like literally going back to Jim Crow without having the Jim Crow laws written where you could see them, but being enacted upon. So she spoke about how, you see how everyone's out, well, not everyone, you see how there have been many rallies and protests, everything from Black Lives Matter to Say Her Name to modern day, which also should have happened but didn't, because black women can't get their shit together because they so focused on busted ass useless black males. Should have been a black femicide rally. So anyway, you see how they have the Palestinian protests now going on. So what these white people want to do is they want to end your right to rally, and they want to be allowed to use the military to, not the police now, the military to annihilate you when you go out and rally or protest against anything. Same thing that we saw back in China a few years ago, where they were killing people who were protesting. This is what these white people want in America. In addition to that, when they don't like someone, or they feel like that person is a thorn in their side, or their existence is problematic for white people, they want to nuke them the way they did the Japanese people in Hiroshima. On Tabitha's video, she showed, I think he was a senator, right, lose his shit over the fact that he's tired of Hamas and Palestinian people. So he literally said the whole situation is bullshit and you need to just go ahead and nuke them and get it over with. So I really want y'all to understand how these people think and how dangerous they are, and why you need to vote and vote out every white racist person in politics and replace them with a person of color or black woman that has some fucking sense and that is standing up to the injustices of this world. Because if y'all fuck around and let that KKK member Trump become president, you gonna fuck around and find out just how evil and how fucked up white people can be when they revamp the entire government for white people only, where you are not allowed to say anything about the president, turn it into a full dictatorship. If you protest or you speak out, try to exercise any of your rights, they don't send the cops after you. They're going to deploy the military on your community. And maybe y'all don't really understand what that means, but you know how y'all like to go around always reminiscing about Black Wall Street, as if Black Wall Street was only one place, like in Tulsa, Oklahoma in 1929? It was not. Black Wall Street was for all the 80 cities throughout the nation of America that had thriving black cities. Well, the way that they rubbled Tulsa, Oklahoma to the ground by deploying the military on that town and leveling it to the ground, having its residents live in a full-blown combat situation where they were living in tents in the middle of cities that once were, and having that whole entire area look like something out of the Middle East after a mine went off. Man, black women, please really don't be on here listening to black women like this novel woman who's telling you that voting is not important and that all this nonsense of the lesser of two evils. It is very clear. If you want to regain rights, you want to have a fighting chance with this government, whether you like one party or the other, you're going to have to vote Democratic if you want to get rid of all of this conservative bullshit that's trying to take away your rights, take away the freedom of your ability to decide what you want to do with your own body, even down to taking birth control. Not even mentioning abortion, which we know is crazy, and the whole thing of stopping IVF. Just trying to take everything away from women that allows them any level of power over their own humanity or to have any type of bodily autonomy. It's like, you can't listen to people like that, and you got to give strong pushback when they're saying this, because this is the internet, and they will influence the young women who are like the voters that come in and make the last determination of who's going to win and who's not. And so this is why when we're on here making videos, we need to be steadfast and be very responsible about the things we're putting out here into social media, because we don't want to get it wrong for our younger women who are going to have to suffer a lifetime way longer than we will as older women, because we've lived through a life where we could do whatever we wanted to do, and we could have abortions whenever we wanted to, birth control, not be under the fear of not being able to go to school or get a job. We've lived all that. We know what that freedom looks like. Now these guys are talking about coming in and getting rid of the Board of Education, getting rid of women's ability to earn a degree or to get any higher education, and basically limiting you to either living like a hobo in the street or going back to the 1950s where you couldn't have anything unless it was provided for you by a dude. Now that may be beneficial to guys, but that shit was never beneficial to women or the children. Stop listening to these women on here about voting. If you want to keep your freedom and you want to have things go past but get better than the way they were before they took away Roe versus Wade, you got to get rid of every Republican and every conservative. You got to get rid of every one of them. And you got to make it clear, we're voting and we want shit. We want what we want. We want Roe restored. We want everything that you took away restored, and we want more. Otherwise, women, shut it all down. No dating, no sex, no having children, no marriage. Do the 4 B's. Because it's the only way you're going to make any change in this world, because these dudes are trying to bulldoze over us. And if you allow them to do this, the next thing you know, they're going to have us back on fucking plantations and being locked up in concentration camps the way they did with the Asians, forcing us to do what they want us to do. Y'all got to wake up and understand this is not no time to be passive and to be playing around and thinking that if you just sit down and observe, everything is going to work out. No, you got to put your fucking helmet on and get in the game, because it's going to be serious out here. And telling young women not to vote is one of the stupidest things I have ever fucking heard. And even if you're not saying that literally to them, but just telling the world how dumb you are and thinking that voting is not good. Y'all watch who y'all listen to on here, because that's very stupid. You have bills that need to be passed. Do I have to remind you that there are black not legislators, but black representatives fighting tooth and nail to get laws passed for the health and welfare of black women and girls, like the HR bill to protect black women and girls, the human trafficking bill to make the crime of black femicide itself a penal code, you need to vote. And you need to be out here voting for the right people to make sure shit gets into law so that you as a black woman and girl are protected. And not just white women and everyone else. You too. That only happens when you vote for Democrats and you vote to get out all these other people that are in here to take your rights away. I don't understand why this is so hard. It's real simple. You lost your rights because of Republicans. Now you want to think about putting one in office as the president and put these people back in office to take away more of your rights until they start putting fucking shackles on your neck, feet, and hands again? Like, you got to wake up and understand that this is what they're trying to walk you into.